Hey, what's up studs? Ryan here, or MandRproductions, with my review of the 2013 LEGO Star Wars AT-RT. It's set number 75002 for ages 7 to 12 with 222 pieces. This is a very coveted set. When the set was released in 2013, it retailed for just 25 bucks in the United States. Now, that adjusted for inflation in 2020 money is about $27.50, so not too big of an increase, but where you really see the increase is on that secondary market on eBay and Bricklink and such, and you can expect to pay about 75 bucks for a set like this sealed in box. It got very expensive very fast at some point, and I paid about 45 to 50 for mine, so there are deals to be had, but they are few and far between. There's 3 figures in the set, with Yoda, a 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and a Commando Droid Captain included in the set, which we'll be taking a look at momentarily. Of course, the AT-RT, and the hideous Sniper Droideka. The back of the box, as usual, shows off other features of the set and a little skirmish there. Later in the review, I will answer the question of should you buy this in 2020, because obviously there is a new clone battle pack coming out for summer 2020 that has one of these blue AT-RTs, has 3 of those 501st troopers, albeit it's a new design. Now, the reason I'm showing you the instruction manual is because a fan pointed out to me during my live stream build of this set that in the back of the manual, if you look where the 501st trooper's helmet is supposed to be, you'll find Captain Rex's helmet. So LEGO did make a mistake in the back of the instructions, which is kind of neat to see. Little thing for the LEGOStarWars.com, and then all the minifigures from the 2013 waves there, and then also some of the sets from the same time period. So pretty neat back of the instructions, and let's take a look at the figs. This fella here is a Commando Droid Captain. You can see that his head has a little bit of a different print, I believe, than the other Commando droids that you would see. The weird thing about these guys is that they're kind of a combo of battle droids and super battle droids as far as LEGO parts go. So you can see their legs are kind of fat because they do use that super battle droid leg piece, but it's kind of neat to see a second usage for that piece in the same vein. And then for their torso and their arms and everything, they use regular battle droid parts. And for their headpiece, they have the custom molded Commando droid head, which is nice. And then obviously a regular blaster. The legs and arms are posable in the same way that they are on all other characters. We have the Clone Wars style Yoda here, and people love those big googly eyes he's got there. I like the hair on the back too. That was always kind of an interesting piece of this. It's a rubberized mold, so it's not like the hardest plastic that they have. You can see it has some give to it so that it won't just snap off. And they have his hair on the back, which is printed white onto the mold there. I actually really always liked that. Again, the face kind of gets memed on sometimes, but I actually like the face of this guy. The prints are decent. I like the hood on the back that's kind of down, and then the lightsaber, because it's 2013, has some mad bubblage going on there, but overall not a terrible character or figure in the set. Pretty run-of-the-mill Yoda though. Ultimately, the main reason a lot of people would buy this set back in the day is for this minifigure here, and it's the 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And LEGO did a really good job with this Clone Trooper the first time around. They have changed the design quite drastically for the 2020 version of it, but I really like what they have going on here. And what you'll notice on this particular helmet is that the print is shifted, and that is a misprint. You can hopefully see there's a bit of a difference there. There's just a little bit too much blue on the left side and a little bit too little blue on the right side of his helmet there. I like the blue markings. I think they do a really good job of conveying the 501st aspect, and of course the blue arms give it a lot of character too compared to the newer ones. Leg printing really helps this figure come together in my opinion. Another great thing about this clone helmet, which was newer at the time compared to the older version of the clone helmet, had the open holes with the black head inside. They can now obviously switch up to a regular clone face, and this helmet, unlike newer Stormtrooper helmets and such, can just spin freely, very easily. You can get him to look wherever you want. You don't have to worry about something stopping that from happening. So having some posability with your figure like that is awesome. And of course, this was a coveted and very expensive minifigure for a long time, but with new ones coming out for summer 2020, that shouldn't be the case too much longer. It is a pretty wildly off-center print though. I haven't seen one like that. So I pulled up and looked at some images of the Sniper Droideka in the Clone Wars, and I will say that this is decently accurate. It portrays everything as best as you can in LEGO. I just ultimately don't think something like this has and ever will translate well into LEGO. The Droideka design has been a tough thing for LEGO to get down over the last 2 decades, and I just don't see it ever really happening on a design that I think most people will like. And ultimately, you know, things like this are nice throw-ins, but to me, this doesn't add a whole lot of value. I'm glad that they did something that was kind of off the beaten path in a Sniper Droideka, something you don't see a whole lot of, but yeah, I just, I don't know. Something about this just looks so weird. And this is how they have you set it up in the instructions. I think it looks better if you put it like this. If you like push this whole back section all the way into like the neck and head of the Droideka. But even then, it's still kind of odd looking. So it's all right, but not my cup of tea as far as like Lego Star Wars droid builds go. The 501st ATRT may be the pinnacle of ATRT designs. Unsullied by spring-loaded shooters, flick-fire missiles, and stud shooters, this thing is one of the cleaner ATRTs Lego has ever created. You can see, again, nothing of the sort as far as those crazy play features that you see on today's models, just a clean, generally good design, and I love that about this set. Now, I do have a couple of qualms with it, which we'll get to, but we'll start down at the feet, which are beautifully designed. I love the curved brick pieces that they've used, as well as the cheese slopes kind of in between. These sloped girl pieces on the legs and feet work wonderfully in multiple places. They just had a nice bit of detail, and obviously these are going to be posable, although I will say I don't believe that you can really have this stand in too many different orientations, so I usually just leave it in the main one and don't really worry about it, but it definitely is possible to move the ATRT around in some ways that you can't really with some other sets. Like, you can get it to stand in different orientations, but to me it just doesn't really matter that much. They have decent usage of these blue cone pieces, kind of really shallow cones, and they add like the joints to the sides of the ATRT, and the leg design in general just very sturdy, and that's all you can really ask for something like this. Nice and tiled off in a lot of places, so that's good. Moving into the midsection of the ATRT, though, you have kind of this platform, which the whole thing is more or less built onto and around, and then you also have these pieces here, which you can move, but they really aren't supposed to move. They're supposed to represent some type of support or tubing or something of the sort, and it works well. I actually really like that that works in that space, and something that really plays to this set's advantage as far as the overall color scheme and look is the fact that those Technic pins are blue, and that's just the color they come in. They come in blue. One side is like the regular black Technic type side, then the other side is obviously like the plus Technic pin side. And so the fact that that's blue actually plays really well into this set's hand, because if it was tan or red or some other color like that, it wouldn't quite fit in the same that it does since it's blue. The cannon on the front of the set, as I mentioned prior, is unsullied by flick-fire missiles, spring-loaded shooters, and stud shooters. There's nothing of the sort, right? The newer sets have that, this one did not. And obviously that's taking away some playability for children, so maybe this wouldn't have been as good for kids, but for someone like me that wants to build an army or put them on the shelf, that is ideal, right? And you can always change that, go in and add that on or take it off depending on whether the set has it or not. But to me, having it out of the box like this was way better. So you can see it can move left to right. You can get it to move up and down by swinging the whole vehicle or moving the whole thing like that, but mostly you're gonna leave it like this and just swing it left and right and shoot at troops on the ground out in the distance, and that works out really well. Now, there are some paneling stickers here on the front, and they have some nice designs. You can see like an arrow pointing down. I think I like the look of these 501st stickers. However, because they are clear stickers, you can see they kind of do have a bit of an odd shine to them in some ways. Same with the other one over here, and you can get your fingerprints in there. It looks like mine aren't showing after I put this together, you know, a day ago, so it seems like they don't seem to show over time, which is good. It seems like the fingerprint shouldn't be a problem, but overall it works nicely. And then of course at the top you're gonna have your seat for your ATRT driver, as well as some antennas behind it. So as you could imagine, you'll just sit him down in there and bam. And so now with your driver in the ATRT pilot seat, there's actually a small little hole there where you could actually place his weapon for storage, and it's going to be a bit of a tight fit if you have larger hands, but there you go. You can fit it in there rather nicely, and it actually looks decent in there. Kind of almost looks like it's there to support his back. I think it's undeniable that this is a good Lego set. You can create a pretty decent skirmish between the droid side and the clone side, especially with Yoda down there, so you can get some imaginative play between that if this was for a kid as a gift. Modern day though, 2020, I don't feel like a lot of people are going to be looking this up on eBay trying to buy it as a gift for like a kid's birthday party. So looking at it through the lens of a collector, which is my lens, I would say unless you really want to have the original, and you very well may, you may want to have the original version of this set, especially given that the new summer 2020 501st Legion Clone Trooper set is so similar, it might be cool to have both. I would say go for it if you can get it for $60 or less. I think anything higher than that is a tough pill to swallow. It just becomes very expensive, and for one Clone Trooper, Yoda, a Droid Commando, and a Sniper Droideka, I just feel like even back in the day, it wasn't really worth the full retail price, especially when you consider the newer version of the set has 4 501st Troopers and 2 Battle Droids, and then the ATRT and a speeder bike. Like, it seems like the newer one is a much better value compared to this one. So I think that unless you really feel like you have to have the original, stay away from it. Spend your money on something else. There's better stuff out there. Honestly, this may be one of the few sets I would say consider buying and never opening. To me, there's no point in opening a set like this. If you want it for your collection, get it for your collection, but I don't think it's going to add that much value-wise for you just being built and sitting on your shelf, because it just isn't that great for that. Overall, this set's going to get an 8 out of 10. Pros, it has a 501st Legion Clone Trooper and ATRT and Yoda. Very nice. Cons, only 1 Commando Battle Droid and 1 Sniper Droideka, which is kind of ugly, so I don't really like it, so that's definitely a con. Plus, I feel like the value wasn't there for 25 bucks compared to especially what you're seeing in today's world with the newer set with 501st Troopers. I just feel like that's a way better value. So this one may be close to a ripoff at 25 bucks for a retail price. Would have been much better suited at 20. Let me know what you guys think about this set in the comments section below. I'll have a comparison of it and the newer 501st Legion Clone Trooper set when I do have both. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.